Hello, my nudes. How's it going? I hope you're having a fun time. Today is Bonfire Night in the UK, where we celebrate the Gunpowder Plot, Guy Fawkes, and basically set fire to ragdolls, set off a load of fireworks, eat toffee apples, and go ooh explosions in the sky. So, with that in mind, I thought we'd do a game that is related to Guy Fawkes Night, Bonfire Night, and it's surprisingly difficult to find one. Or maybe not surprisingly difficult, because obviously it is a UK event and not many people probably know about it outside Great Britain. But I did find one, and it's a Doctor Who game. This game originally came out in 2011. It was for Windows XP, so it's obviously a little dated looking. In this game, we take part as the Doctor, Amy Pond, and Rory, and we follow them along throughout their individual stories as they try and complete tasks, try and figure out what's going on under the Houses of Parliament in November 1605. While we're doing that, we meet Guy Fawkes himself, some of the other conspirators in the Gunpowder Plot, who are not so well known, but probably should be, especially Robert Catesby, as he was the mastermind of the whole thing. And yet it's not called Robert Catesby Night, is it? It's Guy Fawkes Night. But there's also a little bit of a alien involvement as well. So let's jump on in to the Doctor Who Gunpowder Plot adventure with the 11th Doctor. Dun, 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 dun. So, I couldn't resist it. Okay, Noodle, get on with it. Get on with it. Let's play the game.
Modulator on the blinking nowhere in the pipes.
Doctor! Doctor!
Oh, it's you two. Whatever's the matter? Look, if they don't have crispy duck.
Doctor, open the door now!
All right. Hold on to your wonton.
Must be looking at fried rice, is it?
I think you better shut the door, Doctor. I give up. We come to the Lau dynasty for a nice bowl of wonton and crispy duck and exactly how did you manage to upset the locals?
Let's just say the Lau Palace turned out not to be a restaurant.
Of course not. It's a palace. Which would explain the Imperial Guards hurling spears, I suppose. Maybe we should make this a takeaway. I hope you left Emperor Chanzo a good tip.
Yeah, use more salt.
Maybe just need some new valves.
Doctor? Don't panic, don't panic, just above. Hardly a scrape, really.
What with?
Another spaceship! Whoa!
That's new. Ooh, it's rather pretty, don't you think?
Is it real? I mean, is it really there?
Of course it is. It's a dimensional lesion. I'll show you. You see? It's a portal.
But what's it doing in the TARDIS?
Caused by the impact with that alien ship, I'd say. Rory, pass me the Sonic, will you? And don't throw it!
Sorry.
Duh.
Interdimensional pressure differential. No worries, you can go and get it.
Me?
I can't go, obviously. I have to stay here and make sure the Legion doesn't close on you.
Close on me?
Hurry up! What's the Doctor without his sonic screwdriver? Inscrutable.
Oh, God.
Go! Go! Go!
Go on, Rory, you through it. Right. Be a problem with Percy keys. Oh. How do we jump? Can we jump? How far did he throw it, Rory? Crikey. Run. When you get close to something of interest, it will glow. An icon will appear indicating what you can do. Click on the left mouse button to perform this action. Oh,
Rory, perhaps you'd better hurry. This Legion looks a bit unstable.
alright, Doctor. Come
One
on.
day, I'll be the one to stay safely in the TARDIS.
What was that? How did it get over there? Ah, Rory, don't run so fast.
Oh, it's always me who has to do these things.
Right, Amy, we're going to have to fix this Legion properly. We need a dimensional equalizer.
And have you got one?
No, of course I haven't. There's no such thing.
Well, that's useful then.
But I'm the Doctor. I can make one, can't I? I just need a Cardanium Vortex tuner and a Zardak Holofield trap.
And have you got those?
Of course I have, in the drawing room. Now, hurry up and find them and put them together for me.
I wasn't paying attention to what he wanted. It's something to do with Kim Kardashian.
Where can I find the hollow doodah and the vortex, whatchamacallit?
The Daleks first appeared in the 1963 story The Daleks, our original, where they met the first Doctor. They were only meant to appear once, but were later brought back by popular demand. They have met every other Doctor on screen except for the 8th. The eye stalk is the Daleks' greatest weakness. In Destiny of the Daleks, 1979, the 4th Doctor throws his hat over a Dalek eye stalk so he can escape, causing it to shriek, "My vision is impaired!" The time glass is a device found on the planet Lucia, which enables people in one time stream to observe and interact with people in another time stream, which is moving at a faster pace. It was used on Appalachia by the families of people who had caught the terminal illness 10-7. The unaffected could watch their loved ones live out a full and happy life, for them an entire lifetime, for the observers a mere 24 hours. Chronon blocker. When the Daleks destroyed the human race in 1963, Amy became an anomaly. She could not have been born. As the timeline repaired itself, she began to fade away. The Doctor created a chronon blocker from a piece of Dalek technology, which blocked the chronon energies from erasing Amy. This gave him enough time to thwart the Dalek plan and save humanity. The Doctor's crib. In A Good Man Goes to War, we learnt that not only did the Doctor have a cot, which he'd used as an infant, but he'd been carrying it around the cosmos in the TARDIS. The Doctor pulled it out of storage when he believed it would be useful for baby Melody, little knowing the infant was actually a ganja. The cot carries Gallifreyan inscriptions, and the back of it resembles the headwear worn by the Time Lords during ceremonies on their home planet. Map of medieval Venice. When the 11th Doctor, Amy and Rory visited 16th century Venice, they met the Sisters of the Water, seen through a perception filter. They appear as beautiful women, but in reality they're vampire-like fish aliens. Really gotta watch the Doctor here again. The Sisters of the Water fled their planet Saturnine to avoid the mysterious silence. Once in Venice, they began converting people into more of their kind, female partners for the male survivors of their world. The Doctor had to stop them from destroying Venice, which they wanted to make into a habitable home for their race. Distress beacon. When a distress beacon is activated, it transmits a signal so rescuers can find those in need of help. Sometimes people use the internationally recognised Morse code distress signal, 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots, or short and long beeps. It's down to SOS, which was chosen because it's easy to remember. In Blood of the Cybermen, the beacon was activated at Arctic Geological Survey outpost Deborah Bay when some staff were being converted to cyber slaves. Cyberman chess piece. Cybermen first appeared in The 10th Planet, although at the South Pole rather than the North Pole, as in episode 2 of the adventure game. The 10th Planet was the first Doctor's last episode, and the first time a regeneration was seen on screen. Cybermen have encountered every Doctor on screen except the 8th and 9th. The Doctor has more adventures than we get to see, so they may have met those Doctors too. Time Lord staff. In the End of Time Parts 1 and 2, the Time Lords were seen carrying ornate staffs as part of their ceremonial outfits. The Time Lord called Rassillion helped to develop time travel technology used in the TARDIS. He was the Lord President during the Time War, and his attempt to save the Time Lords would have destroyed the universe. The 10th Doctor sealed the Time Lords and Gallifrey in a time lock to prevent them from carrying out their plan. Fobwatch. First seen in Human Nature, the Fobwatch was used to store the memories and physiology of the Doctor so he could disguise himself as a human using a chameleon arch. It had a perception filter to stop the Doctor getting too curious about it. If he opened the watch, it would restore his... It had a perception filter to stop the Doctor getting too curious about it. If he opened the watch, it would restore his memories. In Utopia, Professor Yana also had a fob watch, which contained his true identity, the Master. When he opened it, the Master returned. psychic container. Time Lords have used many different forms of communication. One of the most extraordinary has been the psychic container. We first saw it in the War Games. The Doctor mentally transferred information into the device, which in turn passed the data to the Time Lords on Gallifrey. Years later, the Doctor's friend, the Corsair, used a similar cube to contact him, asking for help. Sadly, by the time it reached the TARDIS, the Corsair was already dead. Psychorax staff. The Psychorax are warlike alien invaders. The Psychorax are warlike alien invaders who tried to conquer Earth in the 10th Doctor's first adventure, the Christmas Invasion. They were able to hypnotise a third of the human race and used this to try and force Earth to surrender. The Doctor fought them and defeated their leader in a sword fight. When the Doctor mentioned them in the Shakespeare Code, William Shakespeare liked the sound of the name and went on to use it in his play, The Tempest. Journal of Impossible Things. In Human Nature, the 10th Doctor was disguised as a human called John Smith to hide from the family of blood who wanted his life force. But his Time Lord memories appeared in his dreams and he wrote them down in his Journal of Impossible Things. Joan Redfern's great-granddaughter, Verity Newman, published a Journal of Impossible Things based on Joan's diaries. Before regenerating, the 10th Doctor visited her and bought a copy of the book. Sonic Blaster. The Sonic Blaster fires a strange square-shaped pulse to disintegrate and reintegrate its target. It was produced in the weapons factories of Villengard, as mentioned in The Doctor Dances. The factory that made the blasters was destroyed, and the 9th Doctor hints that he was responsible, saying that there's now a nice banana grove in its place. In Silence in the Library, River Song has the same weapon, which suggests that she has taken it from the TARDIS in the future. Cricket ball. The 5th Doctor always carried a cricket ball in his pocket because of his love of cricket, and this inspired his outfit. In Fall to Doomsday, he used the cricket ball to save his life. When floating in space, he threw the ball and the opposite momentum propelled him back to the TARDIS. In Human Nature, while disguised as a human called John Smith, the 10th Doctor used a cricket ball to save a mother and baby from a falling piano. Cyberman helmet. Cybermen first appeared in the 10th planet, although at the South Pole rather than the North Pole in episode 2 of the Adventure Games. The 10th planet was the first Doctor's last episode and the first time the regeneration was seen on screen. The same as the other thing. The 4th Doctor's scarf. Part of the 4th Doctor's outfit was an extremely long multicoloured scarf. The scarf changed design several times, and in his final year it was replaced with a burgundy version. It varied in length and was sometimes over 20 feet long. It's gotta be a trip hazard. According to the 4th Doctor, the scarf was knitted for him by Madame Nostradamus, a witty little knitter. If that's true, then it might explain why Nostradamus himself claimed to know so much about the future. Right, so what was the other thing we were looking for then? Which we haven't found. Right. Thing down there? That was covered. There we go. Some items in your inventory can be combined to make a new item. To do this, open your inventory by pressing space or middle mouse button. Left-click the combine items and then highlight and left-click the 2 items you want to combine. Liz 10's face mask. Liz 10 is Queen Elizabeth X, who rules over the Starship UK, a colony ship from Earth containing the entire United Kingdom. Oh, that sounds better than what's going on at the moment. Except Scotland, because they wanted their own ship. It kind of sounds like what's going on at the moment. When strange events take place on Starship UK, the Queen goes undercover to investigate, wearing a mask and calling herself Liz 10. She never questions why the mask, supposedly an antique, is moulded to the exact shape of her face. At the end of the episode, she gives the mask to Amy. Got prawn crackers and some chopsticks, okay. Combine.
Okay, so thing A connects to thing B, sort of, and hey presto! Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you thing C.
Oh, good work, Polly. Efficiency. That's what I like to see.
Well, I try.
Close the lesion. Use the dimensional equalizer to stitch particles across a lesion in space and time. Use the left mouse button to connect the particles in the order shown. Each stitch must cross the central tear. You cannot cross over any previous stitch. Use the right mouse button to undo a connection if you get stuck. Right. Oh dear. What now? There's something saying correct the other things. Oh, it's got to do it in the order shown. I can... Sorry. Read the damn instructions, Noodle. Right, that goes to that. Go 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 to that. Simple when you actually do what they tell you to do, isn't it?
Works pretty well, even if I do say so myself.
Doctor, what's this?
It's a subtemporal distress signal from another ship.
Oh, the one we, bumped?
Honestly, it was nothing more than a ding. Well, we better go and take a look. Exchange insurance details. Ah, smell that. London.
Oh, it smells like something died.
Well, of course, it's 1605. You don't think they got bubonic plague because everything was clean, do you?
Bubonic plague.
Are you worried? I'm not worried. I'm a doctor, you're a nurse. Besides, 1605 was a quiet year for the plague. Only around 400 people died from it.
So we're in London, but where?
Isn't it obvious? Underground.
I was hoping for something more specific.
You want something specific? I'll be specific. We've got a problem.
How did that get here?
I'm afraid we brought it here. It's a byproduct of our scrape with that alien ship.
Oh, a scrape now, is it? I thought it was just a bump.
Point is, this probably isn't the only one, and they're being generated by the proximity of the TARDIS. and whatever we bumped into, which is fine. Only we can't go until we've found that ship, and meanwhile this Legion is highly unstable, and if I'm not careful it could swallow up the whole of London.
I'll get you the equalizer thing.
It's going to take a bit more than that. So, you two try and find that ship while I deal with this. And remember, the Lau dynasty was 400 years ago. That's when that ship crashed. Wherever we are, this is probably built on top of it.
Okay, Doctor.
And Pons, be careful.
Rory with us. Come along, Rory. Chop chop.
The time is nearly upon us. Soon, the false king will be dead, and England will rejoice again in God's pleasure.
A great day for all. Now, come. We have business with our brothers.
Stealth. You will automatically crouch down when enemies are near. Avoid stepping into the sight beam of an enemy. Hiding behind objects will block their line of sight. If you are detected by an enemy that will attack you, be careful not to be spotted.
They sound suspicious. Let's see where they're headed.
Oh, these old creaking corridors make some noises that would make the dead shiver.
Do you think we can trust everyone?
We were all chosen because we can be trusted. Do not doubt that. I trust you left your house in order? God is on our side in this endeavor, but even his work may take a heavy toll. Who is to say which of us will see the morning?
I did as you asked.
Good. Your family deserve the future we will bring them.
No. Hey there, Rory. Come along.
Another rat! I hate the filthy things. This town is infested.
Ease your fear, my friend. The rats were born to the sewers, but there is far worse vermin in the halls of the monarch. But soon we will destroy them, and the king rat upon which they all depend.
Then, pray to God they take these unholy brethren with them.
There must be some way to find out what these dodgy characters are up to.
Shoot! Shoot!
Fact about a fork and a spoon. Jacobean life, fork and spoon. People didn't begin to eat with forks until the early 17th century. There was a lot of resistance to the fork. It was considered a newfangled invention from abroad. Most people ate with their fingers and carried around their own knife if they needed to cut things up. Most people ate with their fingers and carried around their own knife if they needed to cut things up. Princess Elizabeth. The plotters planned to make Princess Elizabeth the new head of state to replace King James I. This portrait was painted when she was 7. Women wore frames under their dresses which gave them a unique shape. Royalty dressed to impress. Clothes were an important status symbol, Dresses were decorated with needlework, embroidery, and with jewels. A fan was used to ward off foul smells. Nice.
We ought to find out where these guys are heading.
Why don't they have voiceover for that audio as well? Rats.
There is something about you that those rats find irresistible.
Get lost! Huh. That's strange. That torch, it's flickering like air's rushing past.
Okay, we need to find something to go in the hole. Ah. Items in your inventory can be used on objects around the world. Approach the object in the world until it begins to glow, then open your inventory. Highlight and then left click on the inventory item to use.
Lady Winters, your beauty illuminates even these dank surroundings.
Enough of your flattery, Catesby. Is all set?
Aye, milady, it is. Tomorrow the Protestant king will come to open his parliament above us, and will be welcomed by 41 kegs of gunpowder.
Oh my god. We're under the Houses of Parliament. It's 1605 and this is the Gunpowder Plot.
It will be my honour to light the fuse.
And he must be
Guy Fawkes.
You and your men have done well, Catesby.
It is God's work to remove this impostor king. Our plans were in motion before you joined us, my lady. But your presence has brightened our toils.
Who the hell is that cheesy creep?
Sir Robert Catesby, I think. He was the brains. The thing I want to know is who's she?
Lady Winters.
There wasn't any Lady Winters. The plotters were all men.
We have all been given a paper detailing the group's final meeting tonight. We shall rendezvous as planned.
I think her
We've
glowing
got
green
to
eyes
find
are a
out
bit
what's
away.
really going on here. We need that bit of paper.
You create a distraction. I'll grab the paper.
We need to get our hands on that document.
Will I open the door where I'll be seen, or is that going to be a bad thing?
I'll wait by that door. If you can create a distraction to bring them out of the other one, I can try and get that paper.
Alright, so opening the door is not as... Actually, no. Ah, rats. Buried and scares of rats in 1605. How did he cope? Where are the rats when you need them? Well, yeah, I've already decided that. I've already decided that as well. Yep, okay, Amy, we get it. Thank you. I'm gonna figure out where the rats were before. Over here? Come on, rats, you love me. Where are you? Failed lantern. Guy Fawkes is said to have been carrying a lantern on his arrest in the cellars of the Houses of Parliament when the Gunpowder Plot was discovered. The lantern was made of sheet iron with a holder for a candle inside and a hinged door. The door had a window made of horn in it, through which the light would glow. The lantern has an inner cylinder which could be rotated in order to conceal the light and also the user. Oh, I need some rats. I need to... Rosary. Rosaries are symbols of the Catholic faith. It was illegal to practice Catholicism, but Catholics in England had expected James to be more tolerant of them. James, however, continued to imprison Catholics for their faith. This so angered some Catholics that they decided to kill James and put his daughter Elizabeth on the throne. I'll just go around in circles now. Yes. Right, that's the lantern, yeah? Okay, so where do I get rats from?
Right! What in heaven's name is going on here?
Guido, the rats! They're everywhere! The filthy devils!
Fool. Ignore them. We have a job to do. Come on.
Milady, I know we do what we do for God and for England. But I want you to know, if I'm not destined to survive these proceedings, I shall carry the memory of your sweet face to heaven.
All I ask, Fawkes, is that you raise that place above us to ruin.
Is no one going to mention her eyes?
Did you see that? Her eyes glowed.
Thank you, Amy.
To tell the doctor about this.
We need to get our hands on that document. Right, take him the paper and tell him what's going on. I'm gonna keep an eye on Lady Gaga.
Okay, just be careful, alright?
You too. Let's see where you're headed, Green Lady, with your glowing eyes.
I'm assuming we're alright to run if... We'll find out in a minute.
Where are you going?
Oh, there she is in the distance. Watch out for that other person. Who's that?
What are you doing over there?
Oh no, not a chamber pot. Ooh. Chamber pot. Most buildings did not have a toilet as we'd know it today. People used chamber pots when they wanted to go to the toilet. The chamber pot was then emptied into a privy in the backyard, or sometimes just thrown out of the window into the street. People emptied chamber pots out of bedroom windows with the cry of "Regardez-l'eau." This is said to be a corruption of the French "Regardez-l'eau," meaning look out for the water. You have to be very spot on with where you are to interact with something. Are you down there, or was it more around here?
Where are you going?
Well, like it matters to you, Amy Pond. Do you know what 1605 London looked like? Hello, so are you not confused by the fact that I'm wearing trousers? And gingham? Pretty sure they've never seen capri jeans in 1600s. Does she know she's being followed? Is this why we're going around in a rather circuitous route? Oh, hello.
Right, Gizmos, do your thing. Excellent. Less than excellent. Amy?
Oh my god!
Amy! Amy!
Thanks, Doctor, but now what's the plan?
Plan? I'm sorry, saving you from being fried to a crisp was as far as I got. A plan. Interesting idea. Ah, yes! Sensitive to high-frequency noise. Well done, Paul.
Well, Doctor?
Well, what?
Well, how do you stop a great big ugly flying jellyfish?
It's not a jellyfish, Amy. Jellyfish generally swim in water, not thin air. And they don't shapeshift either. No, that's a root. And it's been a while since I last ran into it. Let me think a second. fingernails on a chalkboard. No one knows.
After her! Come on!
She did it again.
I hate shapeshifters. They never play fair in a chase.
What was that?
A Rutan. I'm afraid that must have been what we bumped into. A Rutan ship.
So what do they want with Guy Fawkes?
Guy Fawkes? Guido?
We saw him. Me and Rory, down in the cellars. Those cellars are under Parliament. This is 1605, Doctor. November 5th, 1605.
Yes, I know all that.
You know?
Remember the 5th of November? How could I forget? What I don't know is why a Rutan would be getting pally with them. And the real problem is that it might not just be Rutans. The thing about aliens is, they're never as careful as they think they are. People notice stuff, all sorts of stuff. Odd stuff, strange stuff. Come on, Pond, let's go and find the word on the smelly street. Ugh.
Well, Doctor? Doctor, what's wrong with him?
He looks catatonic. No doubt a result of encountering the lesion.
What, you mean the lesion did this to him?
No, his brain did this to him. This is a London town crier in 1605. His brain has no point of reference for something like this. He's never seen a temporal portal before, so when his brain can't cope, it closes down.
Use a dimensional equalizer to stitch the particles. Left mouse button. It must cross essential.
Sir, I must thank you. This strange wonder has me bewitched. It is like some gateway to another realm.
That's Phil Daniels.
John's got brewer's fruit. He gets intimidated by the dirty pigeons. They love a bit of it.
Tell me what you know about these gateways.
Little enough. I went looking for the truth behind the wild stories that young Charlie told me. And then, before I know what, a great many of these gateways appeared about the streets, and it worries me greatly.
You said there were more of these gateways. Where are they?
There are two others I know of. I can take you to them if you wish.
Charlie? Who's Charlie?
A young orphan who came to me with stories of travelling through these strange gateways to the house of the Green Lady.
So what about this Green Lady? Who is she?
I haven't seen her myself, but everyone talks of an apparition of a well-to-do lady, beautiful to look at, who wanders the streets after dark. She is dressed in green, and some say her eyes glow like emeralds lit with cold fire. Others say she appears and disappears before your eyes.
Okay, Amy, I'm going to go with this Sterling fellow and see if I can deal with the other legions round here before they tear London apart.
And what about me?
See if you can find out more about this Charlie chappie. Chat to people, get the goss. You're good at that.
I'm looking for Charlie. Have you seen him?
You stay away from me. I ain't talking to no strangers. You might give me the plague.
Hello, what's going on around here?
There's talk that King James has brought together the most clever people to finally write a version of the Bible in English. That'll really upset the Pope.
I'm looking for Charlie. Have you seen him?
I've seen him with that cut purse, Barnaby, probably up to no good.
Where would I find Barnaby?
He's around here somewhere. If you see him, tell him to stop thieving and earn his keep like any honest folk. Or we'll get the watch on him.
So, what's the gossip on the streets?
Please, I'm in a rush.
Hello, what's going on around here?
Pardon me.
Swaddling cloth. Young babies up to about 12 months old were wrapped in linen bandages or swaddled. Swaddling clothes were used not only to keep babies warm, but wrapping their limbs up tightly was also thought to keep babies safe because they couldn't move. It was also believed that babies' arms and legs needed to be kept straight so they would grow properly. Cabbage. Meat was a luxury and people only had one cooked meal a day, usually made from grain and vegetables. It was a bit like porridge but called pottage. Carrots were white until much later when they were dyed orange by the Dutch. Raw fruit was believed to cause sickness. Oranges were cooked as they were thought to be poisonous.
So, what's the gossip on the streets?
I hear Bill Shakespeare's new play is about a Moorish soldier who kills his wife in a fit of jealousy. Sounds right up my street.
Have you seen Charlie?
He was taking care of his sister, but I've not seen him around for a couple of days. Maybe Barnaby knows where he is.
Where can I find Barnaby?
Barnaby? That wretched pickpocket. He'll be around here somewhere. Just jangle your coins and he'll show up.
Well, the Jacobeans could have only dreamed of having a tap in their house. They had to fetch water from a well or the river. Unfortunately, people emptied their wastewater into the river as well. The drinking water was a source of infection and disease. It was actually safer to drink beer, as the water in the beer was boiled and free from bacteria. That sounds like my kind of deal. I like that.
Good evening, miss. I am Alice Flowers, purveyor of fine herbal remedies.
Hello, Alice. My name's Amy. I don't suppose you've noticed anything out of the ordinary going on, have you?
Always, my dear. There's never a dull moment in London town.
What remedies do you have for the plague?
For the plague, I make posies which can mask the poison vapours and prevent its spread. For other ailments, I make salves and poultices that you apply to the body.
Posies? You mean flowers?
A posy is a small bag containing a mixture of 3 herbs. Bring me bergamot, comfrey and lavender and I can make you one.
I'm looking for Charlie. Have you seen him?
Indeed I have, miss. I saw him only last night, white as a sheet and soaked to the skin. Looked like he'd been scared half to death. Young Barnaby is a close friend. He may know of his whereabouts.
Tell me about Barnaby.
Another urchin, but a much sadder story than Charlie's. Plague took away his family, they say, and left him with a terror of the pestilence. You'll find him wandering these streets, but don't expect much sense from him.
Posies? You mean flowers?
I already told you. A posy is a small bag containing a mixture of 3 herbs. Bring me bergamot, comfrey and lavender and I can make you one.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
What, you haven't told me anything yet?
I told you, miss, I ain't talking to no strangers what might have the plague.
Well, I need bergamot. What is it and what's it? How do we get flowers?
That's all I know.
Alright, mate. I don't know. He's just walking still.
Hello, what's going on around here?
Nothing much, miss. Just the usual robberies, murders and pestilence. Another fine day in London town.
I'm looking for Charlie. Have you seen him?
You may want to talk to Barnaby. They're best friends.
Where would I find Barnaby?
Probably loitering around here somewhere. The lazy young swine.
Right, well, we've already found Barnaby, I think. We got any rare flowers? Birch rod. Birching meant beating a person across the backside with a bundle of birch twigs. It was once a common punishment in schools, usually just for boys, but it could take place in courts for minor offences. Birching was not abolished in Britain until 1948. Well, it was later than that. Right, I need to get a posy thing, I'm assuming, so... We enter houses? No. In the pot.
So, what's the gossip on the streets?
I ain't got time for gossip.
Tyburn Tree. The Tyburn Tree was a huge triangular construction from which criminals were hanged. It was an agonising death. 100,000 people might be watching. Hangings were a big public festival. The rich rented upper-storey rooms in houses and pubs so they could get the best views. When the hangman had done the hanging, he would sell the rope. This is maybe where we get the saying money for old rope. I'm not too sure about that, to be honest with you.
So, what's the gossip on the streets?
I ain't got time for gossip.
Ah! Bergamot. What was the other? Oh, you really should have paid attention, and she told me twice. Oh, and so I'm gonna get shouted at for picking someone's flowers. Alright, from something beginning with an L. Deadly nightshade. Before modern medicine, herbs and plants were often used to cure people. Some of those worked, but many of the cures were dangerous or just silly. If you had a headache, you might be told to rub your forehead with rope that had been used to hang a criminal. Or you could actually just chew on the bark of a willow tree because that contains aspirin. There you go. Fun fact for you. Don't try it. I'm not going to be held responsible for any wood-related injuries that you may inflict upon yourself. Deadly nightshade is poisonous, but women used eye drops made from the plant to make their eyes bright. They thought that made them look more attractive. Okay. Oh, lavender, right. What's the other one? Why is it telling me I can pick that up? Good. Maybe remember that for later.
So, what's the gossip on the streets?
Please, I'm in a rush.
That's all I know.
I've been here before, haven't I? I'm running around in circles again. Right, what else do I need?
Hello again, Amy.
Posies? You mean flowers?
I already told you. A posy is a small bag containing a mixture of 3 herbs. Bring me bergamot, comfrey and lavender and I can make you one.
Comfrey. Ow.
Hello again, Amy. Just put the herbs into the bowl so I can give them a good mix.
Oh, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Use.
Just need to mix them all up and crush them a little to release the perfume. There we go! One sweet posy for your delicate, pretty young nose.
Then I have to pay for it.
Here, take this posy. Can we talk now?
Thanks, miss. Maybe you ain't got the plague, but you got a downright strange accent, and you can't be too careful. What do you want to know?
You're an orphan. That's got to be so hard. How do you manage?
Well, I've done all right. When my mum and dad passed on with the sickness, I got sent to the parish. It's what happens to kids when their folks go. But there's nothing for me there, so I ran away and ended up on the streets. But I'm quick. People never catch me, so I'll make enough to get by.
A young boy like you shouldn't be pickpocketing and stealing. It's wrong, and it's dangerous.
Of course it's dangerous. And I'll be in trouble if the watch catch me. I'm fit to work, you see, so if they find me, it'll be a flogging, then sent back to my parish. The poor laws ain't kind to folks like me. But they've got to catch me first, haven't they?
That's awful. You're too young to be living on the streets. You should be at school. Isn't there one you could go to?
School, miss? Not me.
But you've got to have an education. There must be somewhere you can learn how to read and write.
Ain't got the money for no school, miss. Like my folks couldn't send me to petty school when I was young. Anyway, letters and stuff. They're for the toffs and churchmen. And even if I did get into one of them free grammar schools, how would I make money to eat and stuff?
Hey, I hear you're a friend of Charlie. Can, you help me find him?
Don't know where he is. Last I saw him, he reckoned he'd found a way into the Green Lady's house. Said something about some big tunnels near Parliament, and treasure there up for grabs. I don't know how right he was, but he was desperate to find a way of helping Annie. Asked me to look after her while he was away. I ain't seen him since.
So, let me get this straight. Green Lady's so-called house, big tunnel near Parliament, missing Charlie. Oh, I hope the doctor can make sense of all this.
Here we go, sir. It's around that corner. Excuse me if I don't accompany you. After my previous experience, I have little stomach for sorcery.
How do I get to them? Oh, okay. Interesting, the other side of this legion seems to be under the White Dwarf and right in the vicinity of the Lightfoot Imperium.
Very well done, sir. I must say I'm impressed with your skill with the arcane arts. Now follow me to the next one.
He's taking it in his stride rather well, isn't he? What was there? Oh, gravel. Okay. Why won't it let me... I know you want me to do something with the ring. I want to look at the door. No. Okay.
All right.
Right, I'm through one stone for Kirk.
What do you want?
It's all right, Margaret. This here is a man on the King's business.
I don't care if it's the risen Lord himself. Get lost!
Hello, I need to get into your yard. Can you let me in?
Get lost! I don't know you from Adam.
I apologise for Margaret's uncooperative behaviour. Perhaps you could grease her palm in some way.
I think this might help.
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Right away.
Hope she could even read. No, it's in Margaret, but the likelihood is very unlikely.
Come in, sir. Welcome. Come in, sir. Welcome.
Not telling me where it's pointed this time. It looks like the other side opens into the plasma caves of Emberly Alpha. Right, hang on, my brain's really stopped working now. That's a that. Another one of them. that made my brain hurt, and I don't know why, because it was easy when you think about it.
Ah, Doctor, there you are.
Of course I'm here. I'm having way too much fun to be anywhere else. Now, what do we know about Charlie?
They say he's been following Winters to her house.
Her house? Interesting. That might mean he knows where her ship is. But do we know where Charlie is?
He's disappeared. Last time anyone saw him, he was wet and had been underground, near Parliament.
Do you know anywhere like this, Mr. Plum?
Sounds like the drains. Vile place, dark, filthy and crawling with rats.
Sounds lovely. Who in their right mind would go down there?
Why do all these tunnels have to look the same? Doctor, where are you? Oh, fresh air. Well, at least that's better. A bit. What the heck was all that about?
That doesn't look good.
Look, whoever you are, listen. We have to get out of here now.
I am Black Rob, Sergeant at Arms and Keeper of the Doors. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Yeah, later. Right now, you see those guys? Well, they are Sontarans, and they are very, very bad news. Come on.
Field Major Karsh, I have a prisoner.
So, the human thinks it can subvert our plans here in this London city, and report back to its Rutan masters that the Sontarans have discovered their plan.
Look, mate, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never even heard of a Rutan.
Do not try to be clever with me, human. It will only cause you more pain. Why else would you be down here, if you were not in the service of the Rutan host? We know their ship lies here somewhere.
Listen, maybe if you told me what was going on.
The Sontaran Empire has been at war with the Rutan host for 50,000 years. Every Sontaran is pledged to Sontar to seek out and destroy its enemies.
So what are the Sontarans doing in London?
We have detected the distress signal of a Rutan ship. A Rutan ship for which both the Empire and the host themselves have been searching for 400 years. It is somewhere near here.
400 years? What's so special about it?
It contains something of strategic value to both sides.
So, what's going to happen to me now?
Prisoners of war are always useful. For experimental purposes.
What?
We Sontarans pride ourselves in our lack of complacency. We are always looking for a better way to kill. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a Rutan ship to find. Watch him well.
What do you think you're doing?
Sorry, there was a fly.
It's a sewer. There are bound to be many flies. Now get back.
Right, so he's got some kind of device on his head, right? I think. Okay, they look right there. Right there. One of these two then. I've snapped off an old rusty bolt, another yank and the grate will open.
Your punishment will be severe for doing such a thing. Sir, I am in your debt. The enchantment put upon me by those bald devils seems lifted.
Black Rod? Oh, is that your name? I knew a Ginger Gavin when I was a kid.
That is not my name, it is my title. I am the Gentleman Usher of the Black Rod to the Parliament of His Majesty King James I. I am charged with keeping the peace within the walls of Parliament and guarding its treasures and secrets from those traitors who would steal them away.
What traitors would those be, then?
Threats to the crown come from many quarters. Spies of foreign nations, and the threat from Catholics within our own borders is constant.
How did you get caught by the Sontarans?
I was investigating rumors of another plot to kill the king. Twice already there have been Catholic plots to remove him from the throne, and whispers of a sinister presence in the halls beneath Parliament. When I came to search out the truth, I was confronted by those devils. And somehow they took me in their thrall.
They're not actually devils. They're called Sontarans. They come from another planet.
Another planet? I don't understand.
All you need to know is they're the enemy. Spies? It's a bit early for James Bond, isn't it?
Bond? James Bond? You confuse me, sir. Is this man a spy?
Oh, it's all right. He's on our side.
These days it is hard to be sure who is on whose side. England is wealthy and jealously coveted by our neighbours, and the Catholic threat is a constant danger to the realm.
King James, that's the Scottish one, yeah?
Indeed. King James was James VI of Scotland. Queen Elizabeth had no direct heirs, but James's great-grandmother was the elder sister of Henry VIII, and thus the succession passed to him.
All the Catholics I know are pretty harmless.
Many are harmless, of course, but their loyalties lie with the Pope in Rome, not with our monarch. And although James has taken measures for Catholic and Protestant to live in peace side by side, there are those who would see the rightful sovereign replaced with a Catholic monarch and puppet to the Pope.
Tell me more about Parliament?
The Parliament of England sits in the Palace of Westminster and is formed of two houses, the Commons and the Lords. Each sit to discuss and ratify laws that are passed, as well as give assent when our monarch wishes to raise taxes.
Do you know how to get us out of here?
I do indeed, but we must proceed with caution. Follow me. Don't get spotted. Wait for my signal, then come towards me. Follow me. Nearly there. You're doing well.
Santa Ha!
Wait. Language. Yeah, wait for me, stop running away. I can only do the crouchy thing. Do that green stuff there, look.
Now, down this way and we shall be safe.
Why do I not believe you, Black Rod?
Where are we going? I have to get back to my wife and the doctor. He'll sort out what's going on here, I promise you.
Find your friends. Do your duty. Allow me to do mine. Protect the King's office.
That's beautiful.
The ceremonial mace. The symbol of our sovereign freedom. It must never fall into the hands of those bald devils below.
Right. Time to get this paper to the doctor. Those are the Sontarans.
Really? Well, thank you for pointing that out.
I was coming to tell you about them. According to Field Major Karsh, the crash ship is Rutan. They're at war against them.
Hang on, since when did you get so chatty with the Sontarans?
Yeah, well, they captured me.
Didn't get the paper, did they?
Ta-da! It's details of the plotters' meeting.
Really?
There's nothing there.
Oh, don't be so negative. Nothing there. Negative. Get it?
Anyway, I got the mind control device out of Blackrod's neck, and now he's hiding in his treasure room up in Parliament.
The treasure room?
It's behind a secret panel. The ceremonial mace and all this other stuff is in there.
Right. Well, let's see what secrets this piece of paper has for us.
Book of Weeping Angels. First seen in Blink, the Weeping Angels are hunters that send people into the past and feed on the potential energy of the lives they would have lived. Weeping Angels are quantum locked, and when being observed, they remain motionless. They can only move when no one is looking at them, or in the brief moment when someone blinks. When they are not moving, they usually cover their eyes to prevent themselves from seeing each other and becoming trapped as statues. Recorder. The Second Doctor often played a recorder to help himself think or to distract his enemies. In The Three Doctors, the recorder was used to defeat Omega and save the Doctor. It came into contact with an antimatter universe, and because it had not been converted into antimatter, it caused a huge explosion. Luckily for the Second Doctor, he had several more recorders. I need to find something to... Ood Translator. The Ood are telepathic aliens with no vocal cords. When used by humans as slaves, their hindbrain was removed and a translator was fitted so they could communicate with non-telepathic beings. They are a peaceful race who were forced into slavery by humans until the 10th Doctor freed them. The Ood had telepathic visions of the 10th Doctor's death and warned him that he was in great danger. What did I see in here that would have decrypted stuff? In the cupboards.
Do you think it might be invisible ink?
Quite possibly. 10 out of 10 and a jammy dodger too for Amy. Alternatively, it might have a micromolecular encoding sequence, but that would need a subatomic televiewer to read. Luckily, this smells of lemons.
Oh, we can use the fire. That'll heat it up, won't it? Whoops. Oh.
Look at this. It reads, "Be at the Duck and Drake on London Bridge for 9 of the hour."
Are you really gonna go?
Yes. I feel a bout of infiltration coming on, maybe even some dressing up. You two, on the other hand, have to find that Rutan ship before the Sontarans, and we have to get that ship off Earth to get rid of those legions. Right, let's get on with it.
He was going to put a disguise on. So we need to find the duck and...
That looks like Robert Catesby, the leader of the plotters. Hello, I'm the Doctor.
We have nothing to say to you, stranger.
Alright, rude. Oh, yeah, okay. I want to use the sonic screwdriver, mate. That normally opens stuff, right? Oh. Alright.
That's Guy Fawkes, in the flesh. Thomas Percy, one of the Gunpowder plotters. Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Our business is of no concern to you, stranger.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
I don't know who you are or what you want, but you might find it healthy to keep your nose out of other people's business.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Welcome, brother, welcome. A brother of the true faith. How is King Philip?
Oh, he's in fine form. Always got a lovely tan. It's all that Spanish sun, I suppose, and the oranges and the paella. He does love his paella. Anyway, glad to be of service, Guido. I can call you that, can't I?
Sir, the timing of your arrival is good fortune itself, for the clock ticks, and there is a task at hand that requires one such as yourself.
I was just wondering, how did a chap like you get mixed up in a plot to remove the King of England?
I was originally a son of York. Both my parents were Protestant, devoted worshippers in the English church.
Then how come you're on the side of the Catholics?
My mother's family were Catholics, and when my father died, she married again. A Catholic. I converted to the faith of my mother's family and left for Europe, where I fought for Spain against the Dutch Protestants. That was where I learned the craft of gunpowder.
So that's your part of the plot. You're the explosives expert.
I am just a simple soldier, Doctor. I will set the fuse below Parliament and light it.
And what task did you have in mind?
In a fit of healthy paranoia, believing I might be under suspicion by the King's men, I disposed of a reel of fuse wire over the parapet of the bridge. I heard no splash, so I believe it landed on the supports and so may be lodged there. If indeed I am being watched, then it would incriminate me and expose our entire endeavour, if I were seen to fetch it. But should you, good Doctor, make your way beneath the bridge and retrieve the fuse wire, our mission to remove the King will be safeguarded, and I would be eternally grateful.
Beer barrel. Most people, including children, drank beer as their normal everyday drink as water could not be trusted to be safe. The main ingredients were barley, water and yeast, possibly with some herbs for flavouring. Boiling the ingredients to make the beer killed the bacteria, so it was a lot less dangerous than drinking water. Yeah, definitely going to go back in time. Priest holes. Anybody found carrying symbols of the Catholic religion or taking part in Catholic Mass was fined or imprisoned. Catholic priests were often tortured and if found guilty of treason were executed. Many wealthy Catholic families celebrated Mass in secret in their homes, hiding priests in specially constructed hiding places to protect them.
Have you found my fuse wire?
Tell me about the other conspirators.
We are a gathering of loyal Catholics from all walks of life. Robert Catesby is the instigator of the plan, and each of us has their role to play.
But don't you think murdering the king is going a bit far?
This is not murder, this is the work of God. We are God's true soldiers in this endeavour. The Protestant monarchy and people of England have been condemning themselves to hellfire. What I do for the good of the nation and the souls of our people.
Alright, and then we're going to get down... Maybe we need to use a sonic screwdriver on the priest hole. Right, try that. Oh. Be prepared to fall in the water, shall we? No? Yeah, I knew I had to do that, so I'm genius, right? Right, if I was some fuse wire, where would I be? Ducking stool. Ducking was a form of punishment for things such as a scolding or backbiting, and particularly for supposed witches. The victim was tied to a chair and hung from ropes above a pond or river, then lowered into the water. Accused witches were dunked into a river to see if they were innocent or guilty. If they floated, they were considered guilty and executed. If they sank, they were innocent but died by drowning. That's that Monty Python sketch.
What makes you think she's a witch? Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt? We got better.
Burner, she's a witch. Aha!
Have you found my fuse wire?
But don't you think murdering the king is going a bit far?
This is not murder, this is the work of God. We are God's true soldiers in this endeavour. The Protestant monarchy and people of England have been condemning themselves to hellfire. What I do for the good of the nation and the souls of our people.
Here you go, Guido, your fuse wire.
Good sir, how may I serve you this evening?
So that's your part of the plot. You're the explosives expert.
I am just a simple soldier, Doctor. I will set the fuse below Parliament and light it.
Try Catesby again then, villain.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
So our message reached King Philip. Thank the Lord. You can be of great service to the cause. Well met. It is good to see an ally in these dangerous times. If you truly believe in the cause, there is a small task you could do for me.
Tell me a little about yourself.
There's little to tell. I was born a Catholic. I have known all my life the Protestant intolerance of those who worship in the true church. 4 years ago, I stood alongside the Earl of Essex in his rebellion against Queen Elizabeth.
The rebellion was a failure. What happened to you?
I was imprisoned and fined 4,000 marks, at which time I was forced to sell my estate. I have been preparing for the removal of the Protestant monarch ever since.
So you're numero uno among the plotters, is that right?
I am the leader of this great venture. It was I who brought these like-minded fellows together, and it is I who drew up the plan.
And yet we only really remember Guy Fawkes, which is bizarre.
What do you want me to do?
Dealing with Parliament is only the first part of our plan. At the same time, we must secure a new monarch to place upon the throne of England. In order to achieve this, I need you to find me a sleeping draught.
And what is the plan?
On the morrow, the heretic James and his lackeys will, by the grace of God, be sent to their maker via several £100 of powder that shall be lit when he arrives to open that den of vipers he calls a parliament. At the same time, the rest of us will ride for the Midlands, where we shall kidnap the Princess Elizabeth and proclaim her as our new Catholic queen. On hearing this, the hidden and oppressed Catholics shall rise up and flock to our banner. Without its leaders, the Protestant will be cast down.
A sleeping drawer. Mate.
Can't you see I'm busy?
Excuse me, sir.
Are you finally moving now, Ian? I think that's booze. Potatoes. The potato, which was first grown in South America, was brought from the West Indies back to England by Spanish sailors. People were suspicious of potatoes because they looked like the plant deadly nightshade and so were only fed to the animal. Okay.
Please, I'm in a rush.
Pardon me?
Pardon you. You got a well read. Pillory. Otherwise we call them stocks. All kinds of criminals were punished in public, and the pillory was a common punishment. The culprit's head and wrists and sometimes ankles were clamped into a wooden frame standing in a public place like a market. The victim would be ridiculed by passers-by who might throw rotten food or even stones at them. We probably get our modern word pilloried, where someone is verbally attacked or ridiculed publicly for this punishment. I have to... That fast travel? Where do I want to go? There's the woman with the herbs. She's near the stock, right? I don't know where I am. Oh, gone is she? Where was she? Oh, there she is.
Good evening, sir. I am Alice Flowers, purveyor of fine herbs, remedies, and other wards against pox, pestilence, and ill vapours in these dark times.
Hello, Alice. I'm the doctor. I'm looking for something to help me sleep.
I can mix you such a draught, but I require the leaf of valerian. Bring some to me.
Right, that was in the University Garden place. Am I allowed to get there now? No. Really should pay attention to these things, Noodle. At least I remember where the flower. That is the main thing. Even if I don't know how to get there. Huh? Ah, yes. You've forgotten where she was again, haven't you? Yep, there she is.
Hello again, Doctor.
How is business?
As long as plague and pestilence haunts the land, there will always be a call for my medicines.
What pestilences are about?
The flux and the sweating sickness is ever present in London, but what we truly fear is a return of the plague. Fortunately, I have the remedies to cure or ease many of these ailments.
What do you know about the plague?
We must be ever vigilant for signs of the plague. Not 50 years ago, it took almost a quarter of all souls in London. Since then, by God's grace, the outbreaks have been much less severe. Yet when it comes, there's no hiding from its deadly touch, not for anyone, young or old, rich or poor.
Give it another 60 years, love.
What remedies do you sell?
Many herbs, sir, in preparations to relieve all kinds of maladies.
Say I had, I don't know, a toothache. What would you prescribe?
Primrose root in vinegar, snuffed up the nose, works a treat. Or there's sneeze wart, or crowfoot, and chewy mustard seed will do it too. I have them all here, sir, everything but leeches.
Leeches?
Those who are very sick should take a regular course of bleeding, but that is a surgeon's work, not mine.
Well, happily, I'm perfectly healthy.
It is quite safe and healthy, and leeches are only used on those afraid of the physician's lancet.
I'm looking for something to help me sleep.
I already told you. I can mix you such a draught, but I require the leaf of valerian. Bring some to me.
Hear ye, hear ye. King James to open Parliament on the morrow.
Just put the herbs into the bowl so I can give them a good mix. There you go, my dear. A draft that would knock out the devil himself.
I hope we're paying her for all this work she's doing.
One sleeping potion. Don't drink it all at once.
Excellent. You are truly dedicated to the cause. My good friend and ally. It is always a pleasure.
Right, there's only one more now. This guy here.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Impeccable credentials, sir. It is an honor to have you join us. I was wondering if you could do me a favor. A, discreet favor.
And what favor would that be?
My job was to obtain a parliamentary seal. I was returning from the successful mission when some pickpocket called Barnaby had a way with it. If you can retrieve it from the villain, then I would be most grateful, but above all, do not tell Catesby.
So tell me about your plan.
If you require detail, you should speak to Catesby. I do not concern myself with the minutiae of plans. I put my faith in God.
Tell me a little about yourself.
I am Thomas Percy. I have been many things in my time, a soldier and adventurer. Indeed, I even played my part in seating the Scottish king on our English throne.
Then why are you part of the plan to kill him?
Because James has reneged on his promises of tolerance towards the Catholics. I told Catesby a year ago I would kill the king with my own bare hands if I had the chance. He asked me to bide my time, because he has a plan.
Let's go find Barnaby then. They're all pretty rubbish, aren't they? Losing things, not being able to find sleeping drafts when I could just go and throw some plants at that woman. I'd probably combine the two if I thought about it. I thought now I'll do them separately. Be easier.
Good evening, sir. I am Alice Flowers, purveyor of fine herbs, remedies, and other wards against pox, pestilence, and ill vapours in these dark times.
Hello, Alice. I'm the Doctor.
Alice, I didn't even go near you, love. I don't know why you're talking to me. Am I gonna have to do the pop cultist posy thing again? Get close to the kid.
So what's the news in London?
Please, I'm in a rush.
Typical city person. Always rude, always rushing. Never wants to talk to anyone.
You've got to be faster than that!
should I do?
You ain't getting your hands on me!
I need to chase him towards it.
Stop following me! Let me go!
Not until you hand over something that isn't yours.
I didn't do nothing! Let me go, or I'll get the watch on you!
I think they'll be rather more interested in you than me. You and the parliamentary seal you stole, so give it to me, or...
Alright! Alright! Here you go.
We should go and dob him into Catesby, really. Just for a laugh. Is the wrong gate? Yes. Ah. I've lost it now. There we go.
I think this is what you've been looking for, and don't worry, Catesby doesn't suspect a thing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
For these favours, the new Catholic England will be most grateful. You must join us later for our final preparations in the Duck and Drake. 4 raps on the door will allow you entry to our gathering. There, the full scope of our plans will be revealed.
Amazing how trusting these guys are, really, isn't it? That bit stranger? Yeah, I'll tell you everything.
This stuff glows like Lady Winter's eyes.
Is that what Rutans are made from?
Could be. They are horrible. Big glowing jelly things. There's loads of this stuff around here.
Which means that Lady Winters can't be too far away.
Glowing green over there, so... Come on. We probably could go that way. We make it before he comes back. Come on, Amy, don't get us caught. Why do I think this is going to end badly? hope it's this way. Right, it's the other way. Okay. Amy! Ew. Okay, so we've got a very small amount of time, I think. Go for it. Well, I don't know why that guy on the opposite side of the bank couldn't see us when he should have been able to. I'm not going to complain too much. Maybe the Centauran's eyesight isn't that good.
How are we going to get past this one? It doesn't look like there's a way around.
I'll think of something. Maybe I can get as far as that bridge when he's not looking.
They're in that corner. Wanna hide, Rory, hide! How did he not hear the barrel, and how did he not notice it was Crayon, not notice it's gone?
Well, that was easy. He went down like a sack of spuds. I thought Sontarans were tough.
The plank whacked him here, right on the back of the neck.
That is handy to know.
It looks like someone else has figured out how to deal with Sontarans.
Could it be the Rutan?
Could be. But when did the Rutans start using marbles?
That's it! That's the ship we're after. I just hope no one's at home.
Me too. Ladies first.
Marbles. Does that mean it's Charlie? Love me some squelchy tunnels.
Well, this doesn't look healthy.
Well, best not to stay static. Just charge it. Get it?
Is that a joke? Maybe I'll just pretend it's just buzzing in my ears.
Can't you run any faster? Oh no, jellyfish.
Well, this looks important. All the pipes and tubes seem to join up here, into that thing in the middle.
And it looks like it's still busy repairing itself from the crash. But it knows we're here. Wait, I recognise that noise. Get down! My stupid face! Get behind some cover!
It doesn't actually seem interested in me. Perhaps it took issue with your dress sense.
I could have been killed there. It's not funny. Well, if you're not too busy watching this thing try to fry me, perhaps you could do something.
Okay, let me figure something out.
Going. Let's talk then.
Any idea why it doesn't like you?
I don't know. My musical taste? Maybe my terrible voice and husband. Perhaps there's something I'm carrying. Or something you're carrying that makes you appear as a friend. Why on earth do I want that? Oh, blimey.
Yes, but like you said, it's the stuff the Rutons are made from. Well, there's your answer.
It looks organic.
Yeah. And not only that, but some of it looks fresh.
New growth. Like it's been repairing itself. Maybe it's getting ready to take off.
Wonder what this is. It looks sort of familiar.
And it looks like there's another one missing.
Did you hear that?
Look, we'll have you free soon. Are you Charlie?
Yeah? Who are you?
I'm Amy, and this is my husband Rory. We've been looking for you.
Why? I ain't done nothing. You be careful with that.
Keep still.
How can I keep still when you're about to cut me open?
Shh. So, you're Charlie.
What if I am? You're two of them, aren't you? The green monsters.
No, you're safe.
Yeah, of course I am.
Hey!
He certainly knows how to take out Sontarans. He's got guts anyway.
He's gonna have trouble if he runs into them again without these.
Maybe, but at least we don't have to sneak around Karsh and his men anymore. Time for some David and Goliath action.
Items such as the slingshot enable you to knock out enemies from distance. You can use these when you see the shoot icon. Some enemies, such as the Sontarans, need to be shot from a certain direction to be effective. Okay, that could be important. Anything else in that little room? I thought we didn't have to sneak around anymore. are you, Amy? Yeah, woman. You're not going to turn around? Is he not going to turn around? Yeah, well I was going to do that, Rory, but thanks for stating the obvious. Amy, catch up! I think she's walking, but she's not walking. I assume she'll follow at some leisurely pace at some point in the future. Bond, what are you doing? Look at the state of that. Right, she's still stuck. Won't let me undo an Amy Pond now, look. No, I came out of there, didn't I, think? At this guy. Football. Pig's bladders were blown up to make footballs. King James I banned people from playing football, thinking it was a rough and violent game. Football was then a very vicious game with no teams and no rules. People liked playing it though, and its popularity continued. Oh, you've finally decided to join us, have you? Well, thank you. So very, very kind.
We better talk to the doctor. I wonder how he's getting on with Guy Fawkes and the other plotters.
Looks like it's time to roll out the barrel, even if it is full of gunpowder.
All this planning is thirsty work, I can tell you that. The Dock and Drake is an excellent place in which to discuss our next move. You and your stuff, Guy. God forbid that you should ever be separated from it. God forbid any of us should be separated from our guts. I dare not think what the King's men would do to us should they learn about that.
You men should be thinking of victory, not failure. No doubt that is what you will drink to later.
Doctor!
Guido, me old mate!
Hush! Do you want to bring King James's spies down on us? Come in!
Hello, hello! Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Allow me to introduce Lady Elizabeth Winters.
Delighted to make your acquaintance, my lady. I hope we can be friends.
It seems we are all conspirators here, Doctor.
So, to business.
Everything is prepared for tomorrow's opening of Parliament?
There are 41 kegs of powder installed in the Undercroft.
Wouldn't 36 be enough?
Fawkes fought for the Spanish. He has adequate experience in the arts of gunpowder, Doctor.
Oh, of course. Ignore me.
Fawkes will stay with the barrels tonight and prepare the fumes. We others shall ride for Warwickshire to drug the young Princess Elizabeth. When James is dead, we shall install her on the throne in the eyes of God. Once married to a Catholic, she will be our rightful queen.
After the fuse is lit, I shall escape across the Thames by boat and make my way to Flanders to explain our actions and intentions to the European courts.
May God preserve us in his undertaking. And God save our new Catholic queen.
Our queen!
Doctor.
Hardly worth bothering then, as I only want to help you.
Your name echoes across the universe, Time Lord. Why would you help the Rutans?
Well, because I'm partly responsible for your ship being buried under Parliament, it was my TARDIS you ran into 400 years ago. Also, because your ship being there is causing a dimensional disturbance across London, and because the Sontarans know you're here, and I don't want anyone getting caught in the crossfire.
And what of the English king and his Parliament?
The king won't die, Parliament won't be destroyed. I won't have you hijacking the Gunpowder Plot, messing up the timeline, and robbing kids of 400 years of bonfire nights.
After so long in suspension, our engines require the kinetic momentum of the explosion to engage. So how can we launch with that building above us?
I can help you. Because believe me, I want you gone.
Doctor, are you alright?
Ah! Pons, allow me to introduce Lady Elizabeth Winters, Rutan of this parish. Did you find her ship? Yes, then so can the Sontarans. You don't have much time.
When the ship crashed, we lost 2 energy conversion rods. Without them, the ship can't launch. But the rods are indestructible. We must be close by.
Sounds like a job for the Pons.
But why don't you do it? God, I'm lazy.
Glowing rods on London Bridge. Why do we always get the good jobs?
Stop complaining. We've got a job to do. Where to start?
Up there, isn't the hand of that clock glowing?
Yeah, but where's the other one?
Look down there.
Hey, result!
Okay. Alright, yeah. Go this way. do. What? Fish in here. The hand's there. I'm assuming we combine the hook and the fishing line and reel the handle in. Oh, we got it. Okay, that was... easy enough, wasn't it? Something funny down there. Still all the guards outfit. But no, because he... I'm sure... Yeah, look. Why is it just randomly giving me something there? swap it with the... Oh, that?
Okay, next time, you go low and I'll go high.
But you said heights bothered you.
Yeah, but I'd rather be a bit scared than covered in wet, cold mud.
So none of this would have happened but for your infernal TARDIS. 400 years my crew has been in suspended animation, Doctor.
Well, we can all do with a good lie-in once in a while. No! Stop it! Stop it! There was absolutely no need for that.
What does it matter? It was a Sontaran. They'll clone another 20 just like him.
All life matters.
Yes. Well, if your stupid craft hadn't stopped us, the issue would be irrelevant.
I guess we just put them in here.
Come on, let's go.
Maybe you should have waited till she got back.
What do you
to
mean,
that.
irrelevant?
Support my ship back to life.
What do you mean, irrelevant?
We were on our way to the ceremonial annihilation of the entire Sontaran species.
Ceremonial annihilation. Rutans have a pretty perverted sense of pageantry.
Our ship carried 2 doomsday weapons. Genetic bombs that would wipe the Sontarans from existence and end 10,000 years of war. One was lost in the crash, but all we need is that which remains. And now we will soon be free to use it. Thank you, Doctor.
Stop!
Doctor! Satan shakes the earth in rage at our rightful quest, but he shall not stop us! Come! Help me!
Yes, I think I better.
Follow me, Doctor. We must check on the powder. If it is spoiled, all our plans will be undone.
Hold on there, Guido. Slow down.
Wait for me. I'm dead.
Ah! There you are, Guido. Are you all right?
By the grace of God, yes. But the corridor is blocked, and there is no other exit from here.
Don't worry. I'll think of something. Now, what do we have here?
The cannon.
There's several tons of gunpowder in the other room. I'm going to have to be very careful where I point this cannon.
I'm not gonna prime it. Down in there. Oh. There we go. Well, I beg to differ because it did just work, didn't it?
Nearly there. I'll be glad when we're far away from Parliament. Right, Amy, this way. Faster!
"41 kegs. 5 of them need to be moved next door into that room. And that's where you should light the fuse."
What is this? You seek to tell me my own business?
No, just make sure things are done properly. Look, trust me. We'll need 36 barrels of gunpowder in here. Oh, and you need to set the fuse now.
Now? King James doesn't arrive until the morrow.
Listen to me, Guido, Guy, whichever. I have information that the king has come to Parliament tonight for a secret meeting. You must set the fuse now.
Doctor!
No time, no time! The Houses of Parliament are about to be blown into orbit.
Okay, then. What? What did you just do?
Pretty neat, don't you think? The gunpowder explodes, the Rutan ship takes off. Meanwhile, Parliament is transported up here out of harm's way just for a millisecond, and no one's the wiser.
Is that the Rutans?
Yes, that'll be them.
It looks like they're coming this way.
Doctor, where is the doomsday weapon?
I have no idea. Have you lost it? You know, you really can't be too careful with doomsday weapons.
Your friends have taken it. And now we're coming to take it back.
We don't know anything about any weapon, okay?
Surrender it, or we will destroy you all.
Get off me!
Well, what do we have here?
I'm a boy. Question is, what the hell are you, a flaming goblin?
Field Major Karsh, the Avix patrol has come under Rutan attack.
So they have returned. Perhaps the weapon is still here. We may yet have a chance to turn the tables on the Rutan host. Question him.
It's gotta be that orb thing that Charlie ran off with. That must be the doomsday weapon.
Thing is, it looked familiar.
Familiar?
When I was at Black Rod's treasure room, there's an orb just like it set in the ceremonial mace.
Of course you did. The Rutans lost a second doomsday weapon when they crashed here. It's quite pretty for a weapon. Someone decided to incorporate it in the mace.
And we think we know who has the other one.
Charlie, yes, I heard.
You heard? You weren't even in the room.
Sound carries in the TARDIS. Have you never noticed that? I hear everything.
You hear everything?
I sometimes wear earplugs. Now, catch.
And this is...
It emits an electromagnetic pulse that will stun the Rutans. However, it'll need fixing before you go around pointing it at anything.
And where are you off to now?
We need to find both doomsday weapons before either the Rutans or the Sontarans.
The Sontarans?
Of course, you don't think they'd be so worried about just any Rutan ship buried under Parliament, do you? They knew about the doomsday weapons. If they get their hands on one, they could adapt it to destroy the Rutans. Exactly as the Rutans were going to destroy them.
Maybe we should just leave them to it.
We can't. Never mind the immorality of genocide, we have to get Parliament back to Earth, and we can't do that with Sontarans and Rutans marching stroke floating about.
So we've got to find Charlie.
You find Charlie, I'm going to find Black Rod.
We should split up. We'll cover more ground faster.
Three Monarchies. This was a book written by James I, which set out the doctrine of the divine and right of kings. But simply, the divine right meant that the king could do absolutely anything he wanted and nobody could criticise him. No, it can't be good. I was just thinking that.
So much for transporting Parliament out of harm's way. Oh my goodness, they're really going to have their hands full with this one.
Go find Charlie, let's split up. Why does it always end up with me getting shot at?
Right, are you going to let me move this time instead of getting stuck on objects? I just stuck with Rory, would have had them. Pull it. Right. Great, got them as well, eh?
Where is the Rutan weapon?
I don't know what you're on about. I want to go home. My sister Annie, she's sick.
I know it's been a difficult day with aliens and Parliament floating in space and everything, but believe me, I've got a plan, and it's a good plan, and this is part of the plan. My very, very good plan, if you just put the sword down so the plan doesn't come to an abrupt and frankly messy end, and I'll explain everything.
Sir, I've had my mind lost to hairless devils, been attacked by giant orbs of flying light, and been blasted into the ether by plotters determined to kill my sovereign. The only thing of which I am sure is the yard of cold steel in my hand, and my determination to run it through your gizzard.
Well, since you put it like that, I can, of course, sense the tension in the room. And tension is never good, not when a lot of it is humming down the blade of a sword. So, tell me, what can I do to turn this around and gain your trust? The mace, the ceremonial mace you carry, is actually an alien doomsday device that could potentially destroy the world and the entire Sontaran species with it. Please, hand it over so I can disarm it.
Such strange words. Such strange claims. You are either telling the truth, or a greater spinner of yarns than Bill Shakespeare himself.
The bald devils you saw, they're Sontarans, and they want your mace too. But believe me, they're nothing like as reasonable as I am. They won't ask you, they'll take it, and they're coming armed to the teeth. And your sword just won't stop them.
I doubt that. These sultanas are no match for cold English steel.
The orb on the ceremonial mace you carry is not what you think it is. Where did it come from?
The orb? It was dug from the ground that this great palace was built upon.
I thought so. And you can have no idea what it really is.
What it really is? You seek to mystify me with distraction.
The orb is a device that's come from another world, from beyond the stars in your sky. It is a doomsday weapon designed to destroy an entire species. And I have to disarm it. Look at it. Does anything you've ever seen in this world glow like that?
Indeed. It glows with an unearthly light. What you say may be the truth, or it may be sorcery. Truth be known, anything is possible after what I've seen this day.
If you kill me, the king won't stand a chance.
The king? What do you know of the king?
He is in grave danger.
This I know. A letter was sent to Lord Salisbury, a warning of a Catholic plot. Yet, this is only knowledge to Salisbury and his agents. Or the plotters themselves.
Of course, the letter, the Monteagle letter. Of course you'll have seen it by now.
What trickery is this? How could you know of the letter?
William Parker, Baron Monteagle. He received an anonymous letter, didn't he? Warning him to stay away from Parliament, and, as a good Englishman, he showed it to Salisbury.
Your knowledge of events is indeed extensive. But still, these things fail to satisfy me on which side your allegiances lie.
I'm not here to fight. I'm here to sort this mess out, if you'll let me.
Enough of your prattle.
I guarantee you, sir, Lord Salisbury will be really disappointed if you run me through.
Speak not of those of whom you know nothing, knave.
Lord Robert Cecil, 1st Earl of Salisbury, spymaster to King James, defender of England, and Bob to his friends, and Bob to me. Run me through, and you'll really get Bob annoyed.
Your silver tongue spins a fine tale, sir. But you'll have to try harder than that to save your skin.
I'm one of Salisbury's agents, codename the Doctor.
This may be the case, but how am I to know? You may be a double agent, sir.
No, really. Double agents, triple agents. I had enough of that in the 50s. It gets quite confusing after a while.
You know much of the current situation. Perhaps you speak the truth. Can you prove this?
I have my credentials right here. Just let me show them to you.
I apologize. I truly do, sir. But I hope you understand my predicament.
Ah, come on. And you've brought a gun. You really shouldn't have.
Sugar. Sugar was extremely expensive as it had to be brought to the country. Sugar was extremely expensive as it had to be brought into the country. It was a luxury item only for the very rich. If you had black teeth at the time, it showed you were rich enough to eat sugar. Some people intentionally blackened their teeth as a fashion statement and to appear richer than they really were. Most people used honey instead as it was far less expensive. It just required bees to make it. Horn books. Horn books were used by children who were learning to read and were common in the classroom. A sheet of paper with the alphabet or times tables written on it was mounted to a wooden board with a handle. The paper was protected by a thin layer of clear animal horn. Children learned by rote, where you learn something by simply repeating it over and over again. everything? No, nothing else. An old gun, the barrel is rusty, the stock is riddled with woodworm, and all the parts seem to have seized. Okay. Can you just walk over the table? Alright, Rory, we've got that. I've just fixed it with a pad of grease. I've just done that. The Union flag. Union flag. When King James VI of Scotland became King James I of England, he decided that he needed a new flag to be a symbol of the two countries. The English flag, a red cross on a white background, the Scottish flag, a diagonal white cross on a blue background, were combined. Designing the flag took several attempts. There were arguments about whose flag was to be on top.
Well, it almost looks like a sort of gun. Here we are again. Not a mouse, you're in action. You're not a mouse, you're in action.
Say hello to my little friend.
Family, not shoot. You gonna leave, or is he just there now? We live here now. And he's just there now.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hello? I know what you are.
You will stand still and await the arrival of Field Major Karsh, or be eliminated. You will stand still and await the arrival of Field Major Karsh, or be eliminated.
Doctor?
You will be silent, or you will be eliminated.
Ah! How dare you come in here? The king will hear of this, I assure you. And when he does, he will descend upon you devils with the full weight of the English crown.
I said... silence.
I hate violence, but a good whack on the back of the head is the only language a Sontaran understands. Now let's take a look at this mace.
What witchcraft is this?
No witchcraft, just highly sophisticated tri-quantum physics. Now, a little hush, please. These things can be quite tricky, and if I make a slip up, there probably won't be a great deal left of this corner of the galaxy.
Reconfigure the Doomsday device. Click on the symbols to match those that are incoming. Click again to match up the rotation of the symbols. Oh, do I have to... I was doing it a bit too quickly, I think.
Now let's see the root and host wipe out a species with this. Thank you for your help. Ah, and don't come out until you feel the earth shake again.
Happily.
Get off me!
You will be silent, or you will be eliminated.
There's no way I can take on both of these Sontarans. Okay, I need to distract them.
Quill and ink. A quill and ink were used for writing. The feathers were removed and a nib cut into one end, which was then dipped into an ink pot for writing. The poor did not get an education. By the end of the 17th century, only about a third of men could read, and only 1 in 10 women. It was very difficult to write with a quill. The quill would not change direction easily, and the ink would leave blots on the paper. Royal wax seal. Wax seals were used to prevent a letter from being tampered with or opened by the wrong person. They were also used to identify the sender of the letter or document. Seals were often stamped with the sender's initials or insignia. Communication was slow, and messages and letters only travelled at the speed of the fastest horses. I'm assuming we need to find something to distract the guard. The Monteagle Letter. On the night of the 26th of October 1605, an anonymous and cryptic letter was delivered to the Catholic Lord Monteagle. The letter warned him to avoid Parliament on the day it was due to be blown up. This anonymous letter foiled the plot and has led to a number of conspiracy theories. It is even rumoured that the letter was written by one of the plotters. In here.
Hey, you big jelly thing, over here!
Thanks, miss. And to think I thought you were one of them.
Where is the Rutan weapon?
I don't know, I swear.
Then you have no strategic value.
Amy! Amy!
He shoots, he scores. Say hello to my little friend.
Amy, where are you? Amy?
My last marble. I better make it count. You called, my lady?
We've got to find the doctor.
Isn't this cozy?
We will take the Doomsday weapon.
The weapon is ours. Give it to me.
Oh, listen to you. You're like a bunch of kids. Mind you, anyone that's going to wage war on each other for 10,000 years is worse than kids.
We fight for the honor of Santa.
Santa! Do you know what I think? I don't think any of you can even remember what you went to war over in the first place.
Give me the Doomsday weapon, Doctor.
This? You want this? Or how about this?
The second weapon. You found it.
There are two?
Two Doomsday weapons, the dictionary definition of overkill, if you ask me. Or look at it another way, plenty to go round. Why not have one each? One to wipe out the Sontarans, the other reset to destroy the entire Rutan host.
What treachery is this?
I prefer to call it stalemate. Go ahead, activate your weapon. But you'll never know. You might be killing your own species.
Sontaran's laugh?
That one does.
A brilliant strategy, Doctor. You have rendered both devices ineffective. Once more, war is honorable.
War is never honorable, Field Major Karsh.
This device could have ended the bloodshed of 10 millennia, Doctor, in an instant. How many millions more lives have you now sentenced to a bloody death?
I could end the war right now. I could activate both weapons, destroy both species in an instant, and maybe you deserve it.
No!
Genocide is no solution to a war, even between Sontarans and the Rutan host. Now push off before I change my mind.
Doctor, that was brilliant.
Thank you. And for my next trick, putting Parliament back where it belongs before anyone notices.
What about Guy Fawkes?
I left him in a locked room with 36 barrels of gunpowder. And soon it'll be midnight.
Doctor! What has taken place? The door was jammed. Or locked. By God's own grace alone, I have survived. What news of the king?
He's still alive.
Then we have failed.
You still have 36 barrels of gunpowder. Your place in history is assured.
There is still a chance.
Oh, believe me, they will light bonfires in your name. For centuries to come, people will know this as Guy Fawkes.
Do you think so?
You have a part to play in history. Play it well, Guido.
Open up! Open up in the name of King James!
Poor Guy Fawkes.
Remember the 5th of November. Gunpowder, treason and plot. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Yeah, kind of glossed over the fact that Guy Fawkes was hung, drawn and quartered. Okay, my final thoughts on the Gunpowder Plot Doctor Who adventure game series. It was quite fun, very basic, but then it is meant for kids, which means it's perfect for me. The challenges were reasonably easy, as long as you read the instructions, which I failed to do on several occasions. Don't judge me, okay? The graphics are of their time. I have seen some people playing this in YouTube videos with a higher graphics quality. I don't know where they found that game. It's abandonware. It's not available to download from the BBC website anymore. Bear in mind the game is 12 years old, so it's not going to be Starfield quality graphics, but it's passable. There are some amusing parts where characters get stuck and just walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. The storyline is pretty simple. There's some interesting little tidbits of information that I picked up. It didn't teach me much more about the Gunpowder Plot than I already knew, although it was nice that they did mention some of the other conspirators, who are often overlooked, and the blame is solely dumped on Guy Fawkes, which isn't the case. So, would I recommend it? Yes. If you can find it, obviously, I'm not going to tell you where, but if you search for Doctor Who, Gunpowder, Adventure, Abandonware, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it. I have to admit, I used to be a Doctor Who fan, and then in recent years I've kind of fallen out of love with it, and I wasn't particularly a big fan of Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, I have to say. I did like Amy Pond. I always found her to be a fun character. And I just didn't get Rory. I thought he was always a wet blanket. And he's a bit of a wet blanket in this game as well. But if you like Doctor Who, it's well worth a look. You could probably do it a lot quicker than I did. But then I was running around trying to find every clue, because I am a completionist. That's a blessing and a curse. Let me know in the comments below if there are any other gunpowdery games that perhaps I should look at for next year. As I said, I found it difficult to find any. It was just a wonder that I got this one. So if you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you get alerted every time I upload a new video. Give the video a like if you liked it. Give it a dislike if you disliked it, and drop me a comment and tell me what I can do better. But please be gentle. Thank you. And until next time, my nudes, have a good one.